Hey, you guys, welcome back to Romance Review TV. It's Lady T here, and yeah, this episode was an hour and a half. It was crazy. I would say most of the drama came toward the end of the episode. It was nice to see the parents, and let's talk about it. I'm speechless at this point. But before we do, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to this channel to receive our updates. And don't forget to like and share. And I don't know, something weird happened with this episode. It just didn't make sense. So as we remember previously, in episode 34, we had the baby challenge and then this whole situation with Deb and Jesse. And then, of course, the Hideaway was open and Nadja and Jeff were the winners to get that whole Hideaway. So the Hideaway, we're in a new episode, and Jeff and Nadja came out of the Hideaway. They said they didn't get any sleep. They slept for about 2 hours because they pretty much, as they told their friends, because they dispersed, boys with the boys, girls with the girls, saying that they were up talking all night. So nothing really happened major. They didn't, take it to that next level. But, there was a lot of affection between them and a lot of conversation. And at this point in the episode, they seemed like they were doing absolutely fine, even though a lot of us have doubts about Nadja and somebody else as well, which we'll find that out in a little while. So then Timmy decided to check in on Jesse to see how he's doing. He's still saying how he feels so rejected, as he should, because after 6 weeks, of course, Deb don't know at this point whether she want to be committed. This process is accelerated. Now, granted, they don't have to be boyfriend and girlfriend or exclusive, but she's already said that she don't think he's that dude for her. So why are we doing this? And for her to keep giving him false hope, even in this episode, it just didn't make sense to me. So now it's time for the parents to come on. We have our first set of parents, which was Deb, and this is Mr. and Mrs. Chubb. And also we had Jesse's mom and sister come on, and basically their advice was better communication, and her brother is articulate about it too. Then we had of course Zeta's family come on, and they was talking about they knew from day one that Timmy was it. Naomi is Timmy's sister, who absolutely loves Zeta. They told each other how beautiful they are. So they're all good on the home front. And in this conversation, they were talking about how much they really get along with each other's family, and they could see this going for the long haul. Phoebe's turn. She get to see her mom and dad, and then they also get to meet Chad. And, they was saying, oh, I like you. Seem like a really nice guy. Nothing major in this conversation, and same thing on the side with Chad's family as well. Now, when it came to this whole situation, which was really interesting with Isaiah and Sydney, of course, Isaiah is worried about what her family is going to think about everything that happened in Casa Amor. So Sydney's mom came on, and I got to give props to the mom because she made some clarity to that tweet. Shame on the producers. They knew that tweet was not what it sounded like, but they did it for drama. But anyway, the mom cleared that up and said, no, there was nothing about being compared. He said something about natural beauty, and I did a video on that. Check out episode 21 to get that answer. And they were happy that that was behind them, which actually gave them a better edit. Now we have Jeff's family. Now, what was interesting about this one is Jeff's father, Jeff Sr., said that he's iffy on Nadja. And, her family were pretty cool. They really didn't say too much about Jeff. He gave a lot of compliments about Nadja and how they raised a great daughter and all of that. But that was interesting what Jeff had to say about Nadja. So pretty much all of the couples met each other's family. Everybody is pretty cool at this moment and really kind of reflecting on how the other feel about meeting the family. And at this point, this is where I'm like, okay, must be where the drama begins, because Isaiah get a text message for everybody to meet over at the fire pit. Now, what was interesting, the UK version allowed each other to vote, but the public had the final vote. Here in the US, we did not. It was all upon them who was deciding to go home or whatever. So they had to deliberate, go into their own corners. Everybody's pretty much given, which I honestly thought it was going to be Phoebe and Chad, because there haven't been enough time. And as for Jeff, he was like, they're going to try to kick them out. They got potential, when Deb and Jesse should have been left, because everybody know that they're not solid, which in so many words, I agree. So it was time to give their results. And Phoebe and Chad said that they were voting Jesse and Deb off the island. And then we had Jesse and Deb, who decided that they were going to vote Phoebe and Chad off the island. And then we had Jeff. And Jeff was mulling over this thing. He was pissed because he felt like all this buddiness is just ridiculous, because he felt that Jesse and Deb should go. And he said so in his speech, because he said after 6 weeks, you should know whether or not you're solid or not. And that part I agree with. So they voted for Jesse and Deb. Now it was Isaiah's turn, and we forgot about Timmy and all of them, because they also voted for Phoebe now. But then there was a tie, and then we had Isaiah and Sydney decided to vote off Phoebe and Chad. So they got the text message to go home. Everybody, wished them their goodbyes, and even the fans was saying it was time for them to go. Jeff, on the other hand, felt that, it wasn't fair. They should have been given more time, and that Jesse and Deb had enough time in this villa to figure this out. But Timmy had an issue with the whole buddy and how Jeff was saying everybody was being fake. And so we had this whole contention, which I was like, don't do this. Don't do this. There's always a stereotype out there about our people. And let's not do this right now. Anyway, I won't go deep into that. That's a whole nother channel and a whole nother video. However, these two go at it. I didn't know how far this was going to go. They came up in each other's personal space. Nadja is looking crazy about this thing, because she feels probably like she's embarrassed because she didn't like how Jeff handled this whole thing. Jeff walks off because at this point, he's not feeling nobody. And I didn't understand why he got so upset about this whole thing. It just did not make sense to me. And then the boys did this whole collective walk away without him, showing separate unity. I mean, it just looked messy. We did get to see Jeff, had a conversation with Chad saying, be true to yourself, be you, continue to always be you. And they hugged it out and everything. But it doesn't end here, because on the send-off, I guess what happened, Nadja decides that she wanted to, give some support to Timmy, but not to Jeff. And so Jeff caught that. He was pissed off. He said, that's what we doing? He said, F you, Nadja, F this, SHIT. And yeah, he was pretty much over this whole process. Well, with that being said, that didn't sit good with anybody, and especially Nadja. Now, I don't know if anything else has been going on that we have not seen between these two, because all I've seen is Jeff really being really interested in her, and we all was wondering whether or not she was interested in him. Anyway, we're going to get to that in a minute, but these two are on the way out. Chad and Phoebe is gone. Nadja is upset. He's off pouting somewhere. And it was just not a good look. And she found this to be a red flag because the way he snapped off. And in her conversation later, because right now is getting ready to close out the night before the next day. But they slept in separate beds. They were not feeling each other at this point. I don't know if the iffy coming from his father got to him, Why was he so bent on Chad and Phoebe staying? I mean, the fans wanted them to go. They haven't been there a lot. But also, I can understand Deb and Jesse are not solid, even if they are OGs. It was a mess. It was a mess. And she was like, I'm done. This is a red flag. I'm out. And so, we always see both either Zeta or Timmy being, the parents of the villa, consoling the other. Timmy is sitting over there, I guess he's in a sad place because they were all cool. The next day we see Nadja pretty much breaking things off with him, saying, I'm not feeling this. Maybe we should go our separate ways. He's like, I thought you was the one. You were my girlfriend. I'm your man. Why are you standing up for Timmy? And it was messy. I mean, a lot can be said in this video. Should she had consoled both of them to say, hey, let's calm this thing down. She didn't support him. He felt he should. I didn't like his actions. Now, he can get to feel the way he want to feel about this. I just didn't like the step into Timmy looking like he was going to fight. He walked away, thank God. He got upset. He said, F Nadja, because she was trying to console somebody else, and it's just not good. And they made the announcement to the rest of the Islanders that, they're pretty much separate at this point. They're going their separate ways, and that they also separating themselves from the villa at this point. So now we're down to 3 people, and it's just so unfortunate because it seemed like he was so sold on her. And now she's instantly out, but I can understand why, because of the fact of what she saw. It just wasn't a good look. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It's just, it's just a weird situation here. I always try to look beyond. I know people be like, you always talk about what's going on behind the scenes, because I like to see the bigger picture. Sometimes what we're presented with on reality TV is not so reality. So I always have to see what else is going on that we don't understand in front of us. And a lot of stuff are probably going to come out, especially being that these two are outside of the villa. I'm going to be I already follow them on Instagram, so more than likely they got stories to tell. So they're gone, and, I wish them both the best. Obviously, they weren't meant to be together. So our final 3 couples are Jesse and Deb, Isaiah and Sydney, and then last but not least, Zeta and Timmy. And I honestly think that Isaiah and Sydney is going to win this one because they got the best edit. They had the struggle edit. They had the comeback edit. And then the mom cleared up the whole natural text. It's just, I could be wrong. I'm rooting for Zeta and Timmy, but I honestly think that they're pushing this thing in the direction of a 21 and a 22-year-old, which is, of course, Sydney and Isaiah. And a lot of people are saying that. And, we'll have to wait and see. Voting for, now we get to vote. After all of the destruction. They could have just winded down to the 4 couples like UK season did, and then let us vote for the, for the 4 couples. I don't know it's just, I don't like how this ended today. So let me know your thoughts. So let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. What do you think about this whole thing? He has to take accountability for his behavior, but the thought process leading up to that. Do you think Jesse and Deb should have been eliminated? Granted, they might be OGs, but they didn't have 6 weeks to try to figure this thing out. And Deb gave her answer, and she's leading him on, because I know what she told the girls. We all do. And she's trying to hang on to this thing to get to the end, which she did with Jesse. So, and I know you guys thought Phoebe and Chad should have went home. So I want to know what you guys think. This is going to be a big topic for tonight. I'm going to keep an eye out on everything and anything that comes out on Instagram, because I know that they're going to be talking. And I'm just hoping that more than likely Jeff is probably going to have to turn off his comments for a minute, because some folks might be coming for him after what we saw tonight. So again, appreciate you guys. Drop comments down in the comment section, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.